In this video, I'm going to break down what to do if you have an existing collection and some extra cash and the best path to take to start making a side income with sports cards. Let's jump into it. You got Eric here?
Hey Eric, this is Donovan.
What's up, Donovan? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Hey, I had a couple questions for you.
Go for it.
Okay, so with the new 24, 25 Prism that came out for NBA?
Yep.
So, Stephen Castle, there's a couple cards that I want to send in to get graded.
Yep.
But I know PSA is going to take at least 3 months.
Okay.
So would you recommend sending that to SGC to get it back faster and get a quicker flow going, or?
Yeah, so how old are you, Donovan?
I'm 28.
What's your goal? Is your goal to turn sports cards into like a side income?
Absolutely. I only work Friday through Sunday, so I have 4 days off to just grind.
Okay. And how did you acquire those Stephen Castle cards?
Honestly, sadly, through breaks.
Sad. It's okay. Well, I mean, you've probably watched my content, so you don't need to hear me say this, but just so you know, breaking is gambling and you're going to lose money in the long run. It's not a way to make money. But what's your budget for buying cards? Like, how much could you set aside for buying and flipping cards?
Usually about $2,000 a month.
Well, better question, like as a starting bankroll. Like, you don't really need to set aside, like, once you get the flow going and you have cards coming back from grading, you just need your starting bankroll, and then it just builds and it builds and it builds. So like $2,000 would be your starting bankroll?
I would say, about $2,000-3,000.
Okay.
I could
so if
easily let go.
Okay. And have you made money with sports cards before?
Yeah. So I recently just got back into it back in December, and I've already acquired close to $15,000 in cards.
Oh, okay. Got it. And was that all through breaks?
Breaks, sniping on eBay, just buying people's collections.
Got it. So this is what I would do if I was in your shoes. So you have money. The reason I'm asking those questions is to get a gist for how much money you have. So you have money. However, since you are newer to sports cards, I would actually, those Prism cards, since they're, you could go either way. So what I would actually do is I would actually go and send cards to PSA. So PSA shouldn't, I'm not making any guarantees here, but they should not take 3 months. It should be like 4 to 6 weeks. Sometimes they take longer, but you just need, so like if you were a student of my program, what I would tell you is the average card you're going to buy is $100, right? And I tell people, hey, if you're doing okay, buy 1 card every business day, buy 5 cards a week. You could do more, but buy 5 cards a week. So that means you're spending $500 a week, right? So if you do 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, right? You'll have to outlay about $3,000 in buying cards, plus some extra shipping fees and grading fees and stuff before you ever see a return. So you're laying out money. Then in 6 weeks from now, you'll have cards start to come back to you. So because you have money, I would actually go forward with PSA, because a PSA 10, it's a little bit more difficult than getting an SGC 10, but it's going to sell for like 30% more. And PSA is always going to get a better bang for your buck. So I would actually go forward with the PSA route. You'll lay out, like, I could speak for, like, if you were in my program, like the average card you should be buying is $100, buy 5 cards a week. Takes about 6 weeks to get cards back. You'll need to lay out about $3,000. But once you start to get those cards back in 6 weeks from now, hopefully, you're just taking it, selling, taking the money, reinvesting. So you don't need to keep pouring money into it. Or you shouldn't need. You could, but you just need that initial starting bankroll. Then it builds and it builds and it builds. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. I think so. With the current inventory I have, should I go ahead and just start sending those to PSA? The ones that I've seeing are selling for about $100 average raw, and then praying I get 10s back.
Well, how does that back bottom right corner look? Is it crispy? Is it like a crispy right angle, or is it like white?
These cards are really clean.
Are you sure?
I also have some Donruss optics
Oh, so you got good stuff. At least you're buying the right stuff for someone who's new.
I've watched probably 100 hours of YouTube videos. I'm just constantly watching, learning, and trying to figure out the best way to do something. Because when I get into a rhythm of things, I don't let anything stop me. I wake up at 5 a.m. every day, instantly just start learning.
Oh, that's a good thing. Do you have a picture of one of the cards, like the most expensive card you have on you that you think you want to get graded? Can you send it in? Can you send it to me?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, go ahead and take a whatever, just so I could like kind of break down you and hopefully help you out as much as possible. What you should be looking at, but just text it over to this phone.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, just do that. Do that right now while I'm on the phone with you, just so I know I could help you, so you don't screw anything up. But it sounds like you have some good stuff.
Yeah, man. I've been watching your videos, but I'm somewhat confused on the whole SGC and PSA.
Yeah,
that's why I was asking.
Yeah, I'll break it down. While you send that picture, let me know when you do. Basically, SGC, if you're more broke and you need the money back faster, SGC is a better route to go because it gets back to you faster, but you're going to make less money. Because if you had, let's pretend you had $500 to spend on this, well, it doesn't make sense to send cards to PSA because you're going to run out of your budget really quick. Then you have to sit on your hands for 2 months, right? However, SGC, you get the cards back in a week. So you can turn that money over faster. But you could afford to send cards to PSA. You could afford to, go 2 months without making money because you have the budget to do so.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm having a bit of an organizational issue. Dude, it's ridiculous how many cards. Let's see. Well, I guess the best card I can find right now is like a $300 card.
Yeah, send it over.
Ethan Salas.
Send it over. I'll break it down. And also, what I'll do, will you send that card over just so I can look at it for you specifically and help you out specifically? I'll just share. I don't know. I don't know if you're watching this live, but if you are, it'll be a little delayed. But if you're looking at like a card of Stephen Castle, so for example, this bottom right corner, you need that to be crispy. And then the top centering up here, bada bing right there, and bada boom right there. You need that to be about even. So this card I'm looking at right now is actually there's some whiting up here on the top right corner. So this probably won't 10, but that's what you should be looking at, that top and bottom centering. And most importantly, those corners, because the corners are black. And since they're black and they're colored, they get damaged much easier. So that's what you want to be looking for. And if you could send cards into PSA, like the Prism stuff, and get like 50% of them to 10, you're really good. Because I think with NFL, 25% of Prism cards sent in got a 10. So you want to be better than the average person. If you can get 50% to 10, you're going to make a lot of money.
So I just sent the best card I could find for right now. It's just Ethan Salas Bowman Chrome 25th anniversary to 5.
All right.
The only thing is there's not many sales on it. I don't think there's any sales on it.
Yeah, let me break. I'm just going to email it to myself real quick so I could just show the audience and I'll help you out specifically. Just so you get a good idea of what to do. Hold on. I'm having my buddy email it to me right now. When did you get into sports cards?
So when I was young, I used to collect, and I'm honestly irritated because I used to have a whole bunch of older Jordans,
like that's how it goes, man.
His Fleer cards, and sold it all in a garage sale. And
that's how it goes, my brother. Unfortunately.
So now I realize there's a big market for this, and it's something I enjoy. I get to collect what I want to collect and also make a little extra side income.
Yep. It's crazy. Even before the pandemic, I don't know if you know this, but sports cards kind of blew up during the pandemic. Before it was a huge market and nobody knew about it. People were like, just sports cards. Are you crazy? And then during the pandemic, it got huge. Okay. I just emailed myself a picture of this. So I'm going to share with the audience what I'm looking at. So we have this card, this Bowman Chrome 25th anniversary of Ethan Salas. How'd you get this card?
Break.
My man, it's got a gambling problem. It's okay.
Yeah, I definitely. I'm definitely stepping back and just buying singles though. But I like the thrill of it every now and then.
Yeah. I love the gamble. I love the sports gamble, man. I never got into breaking as a form of gamble. Love the sports gamble, but breaking never got into it. So, okay. So I'm looking at this card of Ethan Salas. So there's no sales of yours. So if you look at yours, right, yours is number to, is yours number to 5?
5.
Is it? Let's see. Where does it say number to 5 on it? On the back or front?
On the front.
On the front. Why am I missing it? Where does it say it on the front? Oh, I see it. It's like very faded. 4 out of 5. Okay, I see it. So there's no sales of that, but there are sales of oranges number to 25. So usually in the world of Bowman Chrome, right, you have your base, then you have the refractor, then you have the blue, the gold, the orange, and the red going in order of how rare they are. Then you have the superfractor. Those are like the best colors for Bowman Chrome. Usually red is going to be worth about double-ish, maybe a little bit more than orange. So like I would think that card of Ethan Salas is worth like 1 to 150. Get it graded, but it's a rare card, right? So if you just run into one collector of Ethan Salas, he might just pay you through the moon for it. The whole point I was showing you this is to tell you whether it was worth getting graded or not. But yeah, this card I would definitely send in for grading. This looks crispy. This looks really good.
Yeah, I looked at the surface. I didn't see any scratches. The corners are very crisp. I think it would definitely be worth grading.
Yeah, 100%. I would send this in for grading. It looks really good. I would be shocked if that card didn't get a 10. Unless it has some surface issue I can't see.
So when I do get this flow going of regular slabs coming back, that's when I'll have a little bit more of a consistency and I'll be able to keep investing into this because I'm not going to take any of the money out. I'm just going to keep reinvesting.
Keep reinvesting. I've had too many students that'll start making a few grand a month, start peeling money out to go and gamble, vacations, blah, 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 and it ruins their flow.
Yeah, I've seen some guys, they're making 100 grand a month. And I'm like, dude, I want to at least just get to 5 grand a month.
Yeah, you can make some pretty serious money. What do you do now for a living?
I'm a blue collar, so I work with metal.
Okay, got it.
As a welder.
I was gonna say you only work 3 days a week, but you make good money, so that makes sense. But yeah, making a few grand a month really isn't too crazy with sports cards. Like I promote it as a side income, so I don't go out there and tell people they're gonna make 10, 20 grand a month. You could, but it's more like make 3, 4, 5K a month type of deal.
So would you suggest going ahead and liquidating my inventory in the most efficient way possible, and then maybe possibly getting into your program? I've seen a lot of your videos. I mean, I know a lot of times you tell people not to.
Yeah, well, I don't want to come across, because we spend so much money on ads, I come across like a pushy salesman. But like that's just the reality. How am I going to let people know about my product unless we spend money on ads? But I would only join my program if you had a few grand liquid. I mean, you're talking to someone that spends over $250,000 on coaching and education. So I sell it, obviously, like I sell a program, but I'm a big believer in it. And all it does, it cuts down your learning curve. So if I was you, like you don't seem like you're broke and it seems like you have at least a few grand, even before you started liquidating your collection, I would like join the program first, because you could have just a coach just help you out. And believe me, if this program didn't make sense for you, I would tell you don't do it. But in your case, I would do it because you guys have a coach help you out, maximize on it. And yeah, you want to liquidate. What I would do is like I would liquidate and get the ball rolling at the same time. So start buying some cards, liquidating, so you can get the momentum going. And just like the best way to make money, in my opinion, is to grade cards. You're not going to do anything that's going to get you a higher net return than buying a card for $100 and sending it off to get graded and, doubling or tripling value. But in my opinion, I would have a coach look at it. Some of our coaches have been doing this for, years full time. They all came through the program, didn't know anything about sports cards before, and do this full time now. So my advice would be to do it, or you could call in on these shows and get my advice for free. But that's in my honest opinion, the program's not that expensive, I would join it because it's only going to benefit you and you're going to do it anyway. So you might as well do it before you start selling your collection. So you squeeze every penny out of it you could.
Right. That makes sense. Well, I really appreciate you taking your time and answering my questions and taking the time to look at that sports card. And I'm definitely going to keep watching, and I'll sign up for the program, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah,
I look forward to it.
Donovan, just as a little hint to save you a little bit of money, if you watch the webinar, so have you watched the webinar, the video, if you click any of the links?
I clicked it, and then I'm going to be honest, I got skeptical, and then
as you should.
Honestly,
as you should be.
This is a business and taking risks, so I need to just jump.
Yeah, it's not that. So what I would do, just as a piece of advice, if you watch the webinar, if you click the link in my Instagram, wherever, buying the program on that video versus speaking to one of our salespeople, it's slightly cheaper on the video. So I'd buy it there before you get in touch with the salesperson. Just as a friendly piece of advice, just to save you a little bit of money.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, no problem, Donovan. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Eric.
All right. Bye-bye.